Hi Wildcats, I'm Caroline Anderson and I'm currently standing in front of Love Hall, which is undergoing a renovation and expansion. Focusing on the brand new Taylor Auditorium and Goizeta Innovation Hub, this brand new expansion is going to have 5 new classrooms for lower school students, 2 new art studios, along with 3 new innovation centers. Along with that, this expansion is going to serve as the new front door to the lower school and provide a little bit more space for performing arts. I got the chance to catch up with President Evans to hear all about the project and even see a little bit of a sneak peek for myself. Let's go check it out. We are here in the brand new auditorium, here to get a little bit more of a sneak peek of this brand new expansion and renovation. So first, Mr. Evans, can you tell me a little bit about just why you guys are doing this?
So here in these new spaces and the internal renovation that is going to happen inside of the current Love Hall, what you see is really the addressing of some key kind of needs that Love Hall has. Among them are more flexible gathering spaces and additional gathering spaces that help us move beyond just having to use Hamilton Hall for everything. A much more gracious entrance and an opportunity to greet students when they come into school in the morning. A chance for our innovation labs to really meet their potential and students who are involved in design thinking to be in spaces that are built just for that. A chance to accommodate our instrumental music program, which is just exploding over here. More and more students that are picking up instruments, having a chance to learn them and practice during the day, needing a place to store them, those kinds of things. This is going to give us a chance to use some space that's currently in Love Hall that'll be replaced over here to be renovated for that purpose. And then finally, an opportunity to give Ask After School Care a new home that makes it feel much more a part of the school and part of the life of Love Hall.
Well, everything down here looks absolutely amazing. And something else I wanted to also hear about from you is how does this new expansion and project really fit into campus as a whole, not only as just another phase in the master plan, but how does it connect to middle schoolers and upper schoolers across campus?
Yeah, so one of the things that you see happening across all of the different projects is you see a lot of the same kinds of architectural features in them, so the campus begins to feel like the same school in different places you go. It isn't to say that buildings are carbon copies of each other, but we begin to see some themes with a lot of natural light, a lot of open gathering spaces, a lot of places that students can use in flexible ways that you see in Campbell and Barge, and you'll see here as well. For the first time in the history of Westminster, we're actually going to have lower school facilities that are used by middle and upper on occasion, probably not routinely, but on occasion. So this auditorium provides the kind of space that just isn't really available on the other side of campus. And it's close enough to the middle and the upper school that if we needed to do something in here or wanted to for the middle and upper school, it'd be easy to do. 400 seats plus this large floor. Middle and upper school students will have a lot of different ways they might imagine using this. And then one of the other things that isn't really evident in the construction right now that I think will make a huge difference for us is pedestrian pathways that take you from Love Hall over toward Barge, over toward the middle school, migrate you in the direction of the upper school. And suddenly Love Hall, it's been a little bit at a distance, it's a little bit out of sight, it's a little bit up on the hill, really becomes part of the rest of the campus. And there's this opportunity for middle, upper and lower school students to interact with each other.
Definitely. And very briefly, speaking about the master plan, what can we expect next?
Well, you know, there's a new building coming right into the center of campus where Scott Hall is. So we're going to be doing a lot of the same kinds of labs there, except for upper school students. So that'll collect robotics and WCAT and Studio W and art studios and those kinds of things in one place where all those different things can interact with each other. You know, everything's interdisciplinary now. You know, we begin to see different ways that math and science and the humanities and the arts all begin to kind of come together. And Westminster students that are kind of engaged in these multidisciplinary sort of efforts and these really new kind of ways of thinking really distinguish themselves as they move through college and out into careers in different ways that they really learn to solve problems differently. And many times over the course of the last several decades, I've heard this quote, you know, the same thinking that got us into the problem isn't going to get us out of the problem. We have to have different ways that we think about these things. And I think Westminster students are going to go out and solve some of the big problems in the world with a different way of thinking.
And obviously, where we're standing here, you can see there's so much progress that has been made in this project. Can you touch a little bit on the progress that has been made, maybe how it started, how it's going?
Yeah, so everything is on schedule here. We're really, really excited to be opening. We'll be opening with the beginning of school. The lower school will be delayed just a little bit, just a couple of days before they start classes. Middle and upper will be in session, and then the lower school will soon follow. And that's just going to give us time to move into some spaces, make sure all the furniture and all the things lower school kids need are there. But this project is on schedule for the lower school to begin next school year in.
Well, that's great to hear. And I can obviously imagine that something like this takes a lot of planning, a lot of going through all of the options. Can you talk about the process it took to plan this and who made it possible?
Everything that you see here, plus what's been done on the other side of campus, really emerged out of master planning work for the entire campus that we went through 6 or 7 years ago. So these kinds of projects a lot of times feel like they just come out of nowhere, and we move into them and then it's like, wow, look at this. But the truth of it is that large teams of people all across the school, both faculty and trustees and folks in our business office and contractors and project managers and others, physical plant folks have been working on these things for years. And it takes that long to bring something like this out of the ground.
Definitely. Well, Mr. Evans, thank you so much for this incredible sneak peek and behind the scenes look at this project. It looks absolutely amazing. Before we wrap up, is there anything else that we haven't covered that you want to maybe share about the building?
The only thing that I would say is that once we get it open and we get moved in, we need middle and upper school students to come see it. Absolutely, it's going to be awesome.
Well, we will be here. Mr. Evans,
Good.
thank you so
Good.
much for
Well,
this.
go Cats.